Hi, Kieran Stone here. The video I have for you today is on color balancing, and I'm just going to run through a few different ways on how to accurately color balance your image. So I've got a raw file here in Adobe Camera Raw. There's no adjustments to it yet. You can see some sensor dust, the horizon's not straight. We've got a person in the background. But my first step is accurately color balancing this image, so I know that my whites are white, my blues are blue, and reds are red, etc. Now the first way we can color balance the image is by selecting our little color balance tool here and choosing an area that we think is a neutral color, a mid-gray or white, and just click on that area. So I'm going to choose this white paint here and just click there, and you can see the program has warmed up the image quite a lot, and we can leave it at that if we want to and continue on. But if I had have selected a different area, say up here, then it hasn't really changed all that much, or it's made it a lot cooler. And if I chose this white over here, it's warmed it up. If I chose down here, anywhere I pick, it's going to give me different values. So I don't know whether any one in particular is accurate or not. So let's go to our area up here. I've just reset it to as shot, and we can go through our little drop down menu here. We can either choose auto, which will not change it too much, daylight, which will also not change it too much, cloudy, we've got some clouds there, so that should do a pretty good job. That's not too bad. Or shade, and you've got some artificial light settings here as well. But all those values are different. I'm still not sure whether it's accurate or not. So I'm going to go back to as shot. Now another way I can do it is just by eye. So I can use my sliders over here and add a bit more warmth to the image and say, yeah, that looks about right. Change my tint. If I go too far, say no, it's too green. That's probably a bit too magenta. So maybe about there looks good. But I'm still not sure whether that's accurate or not. So I'm going to go back to as shot and try a much better method. First thing we're going to do is select our crop tool, and we're going to crop out a region of our shot that is just our neutral color. So I'm going to select a whole bunch of this white paint here, just rotate that crop selection, and just get a big chunk. It doesn't have to be all of it, but we just don't want any of the blue in there, and just as much of that white as we can. So press enter. So now our image is just these white boards here, and you can see that some of them are a bit dirty. There's some shadow areas under here, but what we want is majority to be this white paint through here. Now if we have a look at our histogram, we can see our values for red, green and blue, and what we're trying to achieve is to have the same values of red, green and blue. So we need to bring these peaks here together. So I'll just mention these peaks here are representing the majority of our image, our whiter or lighter area here. We've got a few peaks down here, and they'll represent all these darker lines here. But what we're interested in is our larger portion of the image, so these three peaks. Now if I move my sliders, if I start making this image cooler, you can see how that's dragging the blue further away from the red. But I want to bring those values together. If I go too far, it'll increase the red and the green and drag the blue back the other way. So I'm just going to move this slider until that red and that blue overlap completely. And that looks like it's done a pretty good job. And you can see here now I've got some magenta and some green. So I'm going to use my tint slider to increase the magenta so it comes close to that green and get this nice white peak in my histogram here. There will be a few little spots around here that aren't overlapping, and that's due to areas such as this dirty spot over here, but overall we've got a nice neutral peak here. And if I hover the cursor over this area and look at my red, green and blue values here, you can see that they're all within 1 or 2 values of each other, and that'll vary from place to place as I move along here, but overall our image is nicely color balanced, so it's very neutral average. Now all I need to do is go back to my crop tool, right click, clear crop, and now I've correctly color balanced my image for what I have chosen to be the representation of white or neutral color. And then we can go on to further edits, knowing that our colors will be nice and accurate. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.